All right, so these were actually trades I took. This is on XAUUSD, and first off, I actually took this trade here, and then from my mapping of things, it was actually profitable. All right, so I had to wait for there was a pile up here, lots of stop orders here, so I had to observe. I had to observe my chart very well, and first of all, I'd already locked out my zone, so I have my resistance and my supply, as you can see right here. So my resistance and supply. So I had to mark this zone from my 1 hour time frame, and once price gets to this zone, there's a bounce back and all of that. So I did that coming out to just reduce the length of the area in which I marked. Alright, so when price break through these zones now, then we know we have a change of character. There's a shift in market structure. Yeah, so at that point I had to first off, when price went all through the way down to this down to this zone, you can see there were also pending orders here that I had to clear these orders, stop orders here, and from there I had to take my SMC origin, and then right from the order block, this was my order block. So yeah, right here was my order block at this zone. So pretty much I had to do this, and then after the stop orders I took my short position, and then that was actually for this. I took my short position, and then I placed my stop loss right on 4969. That was my stop loss. I placed my stop loss 4969. Then this was where it is. It was so my entry. This was where I entered the market immediately after the retest to that level. So I now popped up for the real move, and then it was just a risk. The most recent liquidity pool was where I aimed at. So at some point, all of this wasn't there on the chart. So this was just the pool from here down to this point. As you can see, this was my entry, and that was how I closed up at this point. So that was how this particular trade was profitable to me. And then I was patient enough to see what price action was going to do in the later run, and then from the look of things, this was already after the New York session, so I had to wait. And as you can see, there was a pullback down. There was a pullback. This was a very strong pullback. This was a very strong pullback to an origin level where you have the corresponding order block at the left hand part of your screen. So if you watch closely, let's see, because we're talking about market structure here. So this is pretty much how price behaves. For those of us who are new to the system, this is how price behaves. So it did it before, it's going to do it again. And as a trader, if you're used to a particular pattern that is profitable, stay on that pattern. Then most of the times when you try to do something else that is not in alignment with your strategy, you find out that the market tends to throw you out. If you want to change your strategy, then you have to work a little bit some more, but preferably making use of demo accounts. Use your paper phone, don't use your real money, because the market is going to be dealing with you, especially when you're trying to get acquainted with a new strategy you're trying to imbibe. All right, so here was another stock orders here that wasn't cleared initially. So price had to come to that point, and then as you can see, this is actually on a 5 minute time frame. It came through to that point, and this is it. It had to clear up from here, and then there was a pull down to this most recent high. Remember, we took a trade here at this point. Let me make it a little bit broad. Remember, we took a trade here, profitable. We waited for it down to this point because the market was quite, tricky here. So entering at this point might obtain some losses because you're not really sure. Now the next thing here is from here we have to pull again, and we did another long position, and stop order was stop loss was on right at a little bit below the candle, and that was all we're having, 4929 as a stop loss. And this was where I entered the trade immediately I got the confirmation of this. This was where I entered the trade because I saw how it was pulling through, and I entered the trade here at this point. And this was later what we got right to TP. So we're still having 1:2 in this case. Yes, we're at about 1:2 risk to reward ratio. So that was on that. Then I had to wait again for the market to retrace down again to this point, and immediately came here again. This was another order we did, and if you watch, it's almost still the same thing. Let me replicate this so you understand better. All right, now if you watch, there was also another pending orders right here that had to clear the previous pending orders. Let's confirm from the right and watch out for ourselves. So this is it. So let's see what other block was there. Was there another block? Okay, this wasn't it. So we're looking at, all right, so this could okay, so this was what we're looking at. Remember, this guy had to clear out this guy, but I think there was also some pending order that wasn't cleared here, so that's why me had to extend mine to this point, so that I'll have all the pending orders within and around this threshold cleared out from this guy here, this guy right here. So, and that was how we took another long position, and this is how we're just cashing out from this, from gold. So here was another entry point after my confirmation showed, then my stop loss was here. So currently this is where to make it down to this point where you have, this is the block. So that's where the block is. So we're having at least 1:2 risk to reward ratio. Not too it's not too bad. So I'm having about 1:88. So let's just say 1:2, 1:2, 1.88, 1.70 something, 1.90 something. This way, this way I might take profit, as you can see right there. So 3 trades executed, all 3 trades on profit order close, as you can see right here. So pretty much this is how beautiful the trade for the week went, and we're still pulling through. So as you can see, it's a beautiful trend. I know some persons happen to instead of long position they enter short position, and it actually benefited them. Are we together now? Some had to allow price to break through all of these key zones where you have the other block, and there was most of the case there was a retest. Most of the case there was nothing like a retest. The price just price just break and started moving towards the opposite direction. And it's quite risky, trading on that when you don't know what you're trading for. So that's why, though it's quite time consuming because we have to wait for price to work its way all through up to this point. So this was how three trades were caught fully on profit, order closed, as you can see right here. So pretty much this is it. If this was actually okay, before I do that, I'm going to say we are also still going with this another zone I have here. Is another zone I have here, so I'll be waiting for price to retrace back. If price retrace through to the zone, and then we are up for another buy. So we are just buying, and we keep buying good all together. So if this was actually educative to you, the way to hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you would be notified. You want to be part of our community as well. The links are right in the description. Don't forget also, if you have any question of interest you want us to treat in our next video, do where to leave it right in the comments, and we would be attending to it in the next video. All right, now you see this video displaying on your screen is actually going to help you. I'll crave your indulgence to watch it. It's going to help you. You're going to learn something new from it. I'll see you in the next one.